Hey folks, Les here again, back for another S1 Behind the Scenes Weekly. Here we are working on some assets for the game project we have going on with Skystorm Studios. What's going on right here, what you see on the screen, this is Maya. This is a character, one of the villains in the game, and just getting some basic movement roughed in on him, and we've got a simple rig put in at the moment. This rig may or may not get expanded on later. It's actually turned out to be pretty solid, even though it's so simple. So anyway, what you're seeing right here is an animation loop that I've worked up that's just kind of a defensive idle for the character, so that he'll just kind of wait in place and wait for his opponent to do something. So right now this is kind of short for an idle for what I normally like to put on something like this. So I'm going to add some keyframes to this. So right now our loop is running from 46 to 150. I'm going to up this to, let's say, 250. It's at 100 frames to it. Then I'm going to grab the hip and the feet on this guy, and I have key commands set up for selecting entire hierarchies and things like that inside Maya. Then I'm just going to copy my keyframe from the beginning of this loop and paste it to the end, because I want it to be a smooth loop. So now we can see I've got 100 frames open here to play around with some more movement. So the next thing I'm going to do is turn on auto keyframe, which what that allows us to do inside Maya, if you have that turned on, then any change you make becomes automatically keyed at that frame. So I'm just going to come in and make some little alterations here, moving his hip and spine a bit. Let's give him a little more vertical. Make this guy stand up closer to his full height, where he gets a little more ominous looking. So if I wanted to restore all of this hand back to its original position, one of the things that I have set up is after I use my keyframe, or excuse me, my key command to select the hierarchy from the selected bone downstream, you hear that gives me all the bones of the hand. Then I have a key command set for restoring the all the rotations on a joint. So I'll just hit that and I get my hand back to its default position. So I'm going to come over here and do the same. There you can see where that ends up. Now, if I were sending this out to another shop to be animated, I would probably add in a whole other layer of controls for animating the fingers. Just as it's kind of handy. It's something that a lot of guys like. It really depends for me at this point in the game, at this stage in our development. I don't really need that at the moment, because this is really just for testing. So I'm not gonna add that kind of control setup to my own rig just yet. So, and quite often I actually end up pretty happy with being able just to grab the bones. If the orientations are set up right, you can grab your bones, grab your joints, and do some really intricate movement just in being able to rotate. If you have, like, their axes are all oriented the same way, then we can grab 3 of them and get them to rotate and get a nice finger bend just off one movement, which is pretty cool. So you can always go really you can go as complicated as you like with rigging and with control schemes and all that kind of stuff, And there is definitely a lot of merit in that, and we do that from time to time for things. But at the same time, you know, never underestimate what you can do with just a really simple rig. Sometimes simple is better. You know, sometimes simple just gives you this direct sort of interaction with things that is maybe a little more intuitive than what you might come up with a control scheme. So there we've changed all those positions. Got a nice new pose for him. Now let's watch him play back and see what we get. Okay, goes down, get on the sides, stand up a little more, slink back down into it. Perfect loop. There we go. Alright, I'm going to hide the bones, turn off that bone overlay, and then kick us over to viewport 2.0. Oh, did we crash? Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Alright. So here we can see, let's add a light into the scene here. Oh yeah. Now this guy's looking cool. Sometimes it's hard to tell what you've got with your characters until you throw some lights on them and, you know, really look at the stuff cranked up. Yeah, I just duplicated my light. I'll move that over. Give myself a little backlight off of it. Let's have a look at that. There he goes. It's pretty cool. I am digging it. So, really happy with the way the skin weights are holding up everywhere. You know, it tells me that that the mesh is going to work really well in the end product. It's going to flow really well in game. The maps are all looking good on it. So, I would say this guy is ready to go in engine, and you know, we'll toss him into our demo scene later on tonight and get a look at him inside Unity, which is the engine we're using for this particular game, and that'll move us a little further down the line towards having our first, I guess, you know, first demo piece done for folks internally here to take a look at. So anyway, that's a quick look inside what's going on here this week. Working on these characters, working on this game project. You know, I hope this is something that you find kind of interesting. If you have any questions, as always, leave something in the comments, you know, comments below. And you know, till next week, you know, we'll see you folks around.